In order to understand the application of the sign test for the matching pairs, I would be sharing another example with you under the one-tail test. So students, the problem I'm going to quote here is about the identical twins. So 12 sets of identical twins are given psychological tests to determine whether the firstborn of the set tends to be more aggressive than the second born. So students, here there are two kinds of samples, relating sample, the firstborn and the secondborn, who are the identical twins. So we would like to see that whether the first one is more aggressive than the second born. So that is leading us to the directional hypothesis of positive type. So each twin is scored according to the aggressiveness level. A higher score indicates greater aggressiveness. Do the data provide sufficient evidence to indicate that the firstborn of a set of twins is more aggressive than that of the second? So students, as you can see in the data is being given about the firstborn and the secondborn, and we have considered the total of 12 pairs. In order to test this problem, we would have to outline the procedure. So the procedure that we are going to follow is that first of all we need to construct the pair of hypotheses. So based on the problem we are given with, we would be constructing the alternative hypothesis of greater than type. Why? Because students, it was given to us in the problem that the first twin is considered to be more aggressive compared to his or her counterpart. So we would be designing H naught against that is MD less than equal to 0, and we can also construct the pair of hypotheses in the form of the proportions. Alternative would be proportion of positive sign greater than that of the negative sign, whereas the H naught would be proportion of positive signs is less than equal to that of the negative signs. So students, according to the procedure, the next step would be to design alpha. So it is being assumed that it is 5%. And as far as the test statistic is concerned, students, देखिए यहाँ पे आपको xi is given है, y is given है. The first thing you need to do is to take out the difference. After taking the differences, the signs are to be considered. For example, 86 minus 88 gives you negative sign, 71 minus 77 negative sign, positive, 68 minus 64 positive sign, 91 minus 96 negative sign, and if you just look into this value, they are exactly identical. So according to the procedure, we would have to discard it from the total sample size. Then 77 minus 65 positive sign, positive, then next is positive, negative, positive and positive. Now the number of positive signs here are 7, whereas the number of negative signs are 4. And as you know that the total sample size was 12, but due to this particular pair which was exactly identical, जहां आपको नजर आ रहा है कि level of aggressiveness is exactly the same for xi's and yi's, so उसको हम discard करते हुए यहाँ पे हम ले रहे हैं sample size को 12 में से एक कम करके as 11. So the BS, that is the B for the test statistic. So students, if you just consider alternative hypothesis, we are considering that the mean difference, that means aggressiveness in the first twin, in the first xi or the partner of a pair of twins is more aggressive compared to his or her counterpart. So इसका मतलब है कि mean difference जो है वो आपके पास positive sign आ रहा है. That means more positive signs are expected on the basis of the hypothesis being true. So अगर आप अपने signs को consider करें students, तो आप देख सकते हैं कि we were expecting under the alternative hypothesis that there would be more positive signs, and if you just compare it with the sample data, there are more positive signs that are equal to 7. So our BS, that means the number of positive signs, that will be 7, because our alternative hypothesis is in favor, our sample is in favor of our alternative hypothesis, and we were expecting that there will be more positive signs. Now on the basis of this, we would be constructing our critical region. So we'll have to reject H naught if probability of K greater than equal to 7, जो कि हमारे क्या है, positive number of positive signs है. So students, our critical region will be based on to the alternative hypothesis, and under the alternative hypothesis we were considering the greater than sign. So probability that k will be greater than equal to 7, where given that n is equal to 11 and this is the p, we are considering that it has to be less than 0.05, that means alpha. So students, ये जो greater than equal to sign है, इसके accordingly it is actually based on the assumption that our alternative hypothesis is true. और हमारे पास जो number of positive signs थे, they were expected more, and our sample has proved that there are more positive signs. So in order to find out this cumulative probability of greater than equal to type, I have considered the cumulative binomial table. So students, इसमें अगर हम k greater than equal to 7 assume करना चाह रहे हैं, that means if you know that there is that complement rule that we are going to follow, because probability of k greater than equal to 7, meaning that we would have to calculate all the probabilities that would be greater than or equal to 7. So students, यहाँ पे हम complement rule use कर रहे हैं, जिसके accordingly probability of a bar is 1 minus probability of a. That means probability of k greater than equal to 7 का मतलब होगा that we can also calculate it as 1 minus probability of k being less than 7. इसका मतलब है कि हमें 7 से less जितनी probabilities हैं under the cumulative binomial table, उनको 1 में से माइनस करना है. क्योंकि ये cumulative binomial table है, तो स्टूडेंट्स ये देखिए exactly 6 के अगेंस्ट ये क्यूमुलेट करके लिखी हुई हैं probabilities as 0.726. So what we have done, हमने इसको probability k greater than equal to 7 को कैलकुलेट किया है as 1 minus probability k less than 7, जो कि हमारे पास आ रही है 0.726. So जब हम 1 में से 0.726 सब्ट्रैक्ट करेंगे, तो this is the resultant probability, that is equal to 0.274. So as this 0.274 probability that we have obtained from the cumulative binomial table, it does not fall in the rejection region. So H naught will be accepted, and we can conclude that aggressiveness of first bond twin is not significantly greater than the second bond twins.